actual ballot measures are also on the same website, the district's website, under the general obligation bonds. And so you can see the ballot measures and each of the categories that the district can choose to have projects for. And then for each of the bonds, as we issue the bonds, the board has a board workshop to prioritize the projects that we build.
Right. Okay. Yes, and I have read the measures that were passed. And, for the one that I did read, it was the last three, I believe, yeah, I think is in support of, safety, for students. Do you happen to know if the bond committee, discussed, safety measures like, having cameras in schools? Did you ever discuss that by any chance?
Well, let me tell you the process that they
Yeah.
usually have. First, you have a facilities condition assessment by district personnel. And they actually go room by room, playground, everywhere in each of the schools. And give their opinion as to what is needed, why. And then they present that to the board. And the facilities master plan is built based upon their recommendations. And I was here at the last board meeting and no one was here to hear the report. But I know that they mentioned that they have been to several other schools to give their presentation and to hear from parents so that parents could have input as to what they had seen in the school and give recommendations in case they had missed anything. So it's a big process that occurs before any recommendations are made to the board. And then the board, if they see that everything is well, that's when they put it up to the voters and ask.
Okay, yeah, didn't know that process, so that's very good to know. So, and who makes the facility assessment?
It's a group from the facilities at the district.
Like who, like, Mr. Iniguez,
I'm sorry, I do not know their names, but I'm sure that they could be.
like the
provided.
administration?
Yeah.
Okay, got it, so they give their opinion, got it, okay. Well, thank you so much, I appreciate everything that you guys do, I know it's hard to come here when you have other things to do, I also appreciate the parents who are part of the committee. And, I hope I can see you next time for the next board meeting, or the next bond committee meeting.
Yes, and thank you, and I do invite you to come to the bond committee meetings.
I would love to.
You can.
Yeah. And what I think I suggested before, that these meetings should be also, maybe we should share to the public or to our parents. So they can know when the meeting, when are the dates for the meeting, it will be nice.
Miss Adrianson, aren't they published?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like a district email or something like that, that would be nice.
I believe they're published to the public.
Publicly published.
In the website, correct?
Each of
Or
the
where?
schools. I believe it's a brown.
Right, yeah, I like an invitation or like like for people to remind, I guess. That's it. Or to put it in the calendar, maybe, on the every school calendar, that would be nice. Okay, thank you so much, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, but no, I just want to say that you can see, Mayor, you can see, you know, how we're using the taxpayers' money, and they were all ideas that came from the community. Of course, that process happened a few years back, and now we're seeing implementation. And again, you know, I thank you for, you know, leading the oversights, and children love playing a brand new playgrounds. And so I think that that is one of the best things that has happened in our communities, and thank you. And again, sometimes people were driving by and they would criticize and say, how come they bought that playground when teachers need books, et cetera, because that money has to be spent specifically school grounds and things that the schools need, structural, et cetera.
And
All
specifically,
and
as it,
specific.
specifically as it was written in the bond.
Yes, it's a special, yes.
Absolutely.
So that's how we make sure we're held accountable and taxpayers know that their money is going into good use for our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Vice Chair McCurney of the Bond Oversight Committee, I want to say thank you so much for your many years of guidance and leadership for our school district. Back in 2018, when our CBO, Ms. Marilyn Adrianson, and I began, we didn't have a Bond Oversight Committee. And there's no way we would have ever received anywhere near an A+, knowing that. So I just wanted to say thank you because you really helped us know and understand what we needed to do to both develop a bond oversight committee in accordance with the recommendations of the Taxpayers Association. And then also understand the transparency regulations and requirements or guidance for us to publish on our website so that everybody would know the construction projects. So I thank you very much for your leadership, knowing that previously you were school principal before you retired in a neighboring district. You have the qualities of understanding how to guide and nurture our district to success, and we very much appreciate it. I have one question for the CBO, Ms. Adrianson, to confirm, knowing that this evening the budget that your business department has presented to the district and to the board to adopt is a fiscally sound budget. Does that give the district an opportunity to have both Moody's and Fitch reassess our bond rating so that when we do sell the next set of bond measures, LL, KK, and MM in 2027, that we could have them reassess at the top of 2027, prior to the issuance of the first set of bonds for LL, MM, and KK.
Yes,
Can you clarify that process?
yes, that is the protocol. When the district begins the process for Series A of KKLL and MM, the credit rating agencies will conduct their analysis and interview with myself and the fiscal advisors from Del Scott and Company.
And do you anticipate with both Fitch and Moody's to have the fiscal outlook restored in 2027?
Yes, that is the goal, to restore back to at least stable.
So approximately 7 months.
Correct, in 2027.
I very much appreciate the heavy lift of your department to ensure that that stability is restored for us. Because we definitely want to be able to issue the GEO bonds in order to maximize our taxpayer dollars and to be responsible fiscal stewards of the GEO bond funds. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, but I'd like to also let you, I noticed here on your information that you gave to us. There were A+, there was 5 school districts, and some of them are big districts, you know, compared to what ours is. But we're number 4. So that's something that, you know, it took a lot of work, it took a lot of information. And I remember we did make visits to schools and we did work on these bonds with those people that knew how to do, how to write, and how to guide us. So I want to thank you because that brought us a lot of dreams that I have seen living here in this community and being brought up here. But the middle school, La Mirada, might to have the playgrounds, and now the beautiful middle school that we've been dreaming to have and that we're going to be having. It's a beautiful dream to come true, not only for taxpayers people, but people that are brought up here and still live here and see that coming to life and see what we had before and went to our schools. I think it's a dream come true, so I wanna thank everybody and the taxpayers who voted on these bonds that we needed because they saw, they lived here and they saw what the needs are. So I wanna thank you for all the work you've done and the committee. And we know as a board that you have accomplished and came, a lot of dreams come true. So thank you for everything, all the information you've given us. And we continue to believe in you and support the whole bond committee. Thank you very much. And Meredith, of course.
We believe in you, that's why.
So I want to also commend to you, we have these little tokens that it says awarded for going above and beyond. And it's also thanking you, you've made a difference. And I want to congratulate you and give this to you from the board, from the district.
Thank
It's a little.
A leadership coin.
It's a little.
This is very meaningful because my husband is military. The military collects coins.
My husband makes them. Now we're on 10.2 Melrose Community Facilities District Overview, presented by KT Analytics Representative Vice President Justin Bourgeois.
We also have a presentation in your binders, and for audience, the presentations are printed on the back table just outside the door as well. This is the Melrose Community Facilities District. And this was a question that arose at a previous board meeting regarding the impact of the CFDs and what that cost would be to taxpayers. So I appreciate Key Analytics returning to the district to explain what that financial impact will be to our taxpayers.
Thank you. To reiterate, my name is Justin Jordan and my colleague Eileen Liu, we work as the CFP administrators on behalf of the school districts for the school district's 3 community facilities districts, or CFDs for abbreviations. Just very briefly, the school district has formed 3 CFDs, or community facilities districts, in the early to late 90s. These communities facilities districts were formed to help mitigate the impact of new development on the school district, mainly working with the developers to get funding to build new schools to mitigate the impact that these new developments would create on the school district.
May I ask
Yes.
some clarification? When we look at the map, these CFDs, are they exclusively in the zip code of Otay Mesa? Or do they also cross into the San Ysidro zip code?
I know they're all within the city of San Diego, so I don't know the zip code specifically. I know the CFD number 3 does cover portions of Otay Mesa, but not where all the new development is projected to happen in the next like 5 or 10 years. It was where all the development happened from the late 90s to the mid 2000s.
It's my understanding that these CFDs built Vista Del Mar Middle School and also Ocean View Hills, which means the taxpayers impacted are in the Otay Mesa region. That's where those 2 schools are.
That is correct.
Okay, so those are specific taxpayers to the Otay Mesa region, not to the San Ysidro region.
Yeah, the special taxes that are collected are used to repay certificates of participation, as Dr. Potter just mentioned, that were used to build those schools that were impacted from this development. Currently, these CFDs help alleviate approximately $2.9 million in debt service payments on the general fund of the school district. If these special taxes were not collected, the general fund would have to pay that $2.9 million in debt service. Just to reiterate, there's 3 CFDs. There's CFDs 1, 2, and 3. CFD number 1 has turned out. So last year was the last year that we taxed CFD number 1. It paid 25 years of its special tax obligation and will no longer be levied, so those homeowners will no longer get this on their property tax bill. There's also CP number 2 and CP number 3, which is the Otay Mesa region. These taxes both escalate 2% a year, and we're not adding any new parcels onto these CFDs for this fiscal year, as there was no development in fiscal year 26-27. So every single parcel that is getting this tax or is proposed to get this tax for fiscal year 26-27 will also be getting it or had it in 25-26. At the last board meeting, there were some questions regarding the special tax rates and how much the escalation impacts the average homeowner. So in CFD number 2, the average tax bill for this year will go up approximately $23 per this year. I just wanted to reiterate that every homeowner within the CFDs, before they purchase the property, they sign a notice of special tax, which dictates all the tax terms regarding the CFD, saying you live in a special taxing district. This tax will last for 30 years. This tax is this amount, and this tax will escalate 2% a year. Yes, Dr. Potter.
So to clarify, on the column to the far right, to the left of the 2%, the special tax rate difference is $23.38. That's for the whole year
Yes.
for the property owner.
That's the average, so. The way these special taxes are calculated, there's kind of a two-prong escalator. There's a built-in cost index escalator for the parcels before a building permit's issued. So they will, before a building permit issued, the tax escalates based on this cost construction index, and then the parcel is begin to tax once that building permit is issued, then it locks in at 2%. The reason it fluctuates before the building permit is issued is because it allows the district to capture any cost construction index fluctuations before they actually build that parcel. So if the cost construction index goes up 15% from 1 year, the tax would go up 15% that 1 year. Now, no one's owned the house and they actually haven't been taxed, but the initial tax would escalate 15%. And then once they build the permit, it locks in, and a homeowner would only see a 2% increase.
So I'll further clarify. There was some concern that if the board were to vote on this item, that it would cause the taxpayers to have to pay thousands of dollars more. But in this example, the average increase will be $23.38 to the homeowner who signed a document when they purchased the house
That is correct.
about these Melrose taxes.
That is correct. There is no homeowner getting a new tax this year. So there would not be an escalation more than 2% of the previous year. And as a stated example, the average would be about a $23.38 escalation for CFD number 2.
So if it's the first year, will it be 2% each year? If it passes, of course, it will it will add 2% each year and each year.
By the time the tax shows up on a property tax bill for a homeowner, the maximum increase or the only increase they would see is a 2% annual increase. So all those like 8% increases I was talking about, that was just the rate escalating before the building permit's issued. The issuance of the building permit is what makes that parcel taxable and allows the school district to tax it. So it's just the initial rate that the homeowner would pay. So if I had a house built in 1993 and my initial rate might be $500 and then goes up 2% from there. But if I built a house in 2010, that $500 will escalate by that cost construction index. So let's say it goes from 500 to 510 to 520 to 550, more than the 2%. But then once I pull that building permit, the tax would lock in at 2% at that time, and they would only see a 2% increase from that point on.
So it will be the same amount each year.
Yeah, it'll be a 2%. Yeah, for
Because it's locked.
all the homeowners would get a 2% escalator each year. Yes.
Okay, and probably this has been for decades, but like in the last 5 years, how much do you think, or whatever you can answer, in the last 5 years, in the last year, how much in total, like for the whole district, that they homeowners have paid, like a total, kind of?
So the total levy for 2025-2006 was approximately $3.8 million amongst all 3 of the CFDs. For this year, it's going to be roughly 3.9. There could be a little bit of variations because CFD number 1 fell off, so there's no more taxes coming on for CFD number 1. And CFD number 2 has some parcels or could have some parcels falling off as well. Sorry, Dr. Puff.
I apologize. To clarify the question, the way that I heard the question was how much would an individual homeowner pay? Thank you.
No, actually, yeah, I said like total district, wide, like how, but that, yeah, I would love to listen to that.
So-
Answer as well.
Yeah, so as, unless I'm misunderstanding the question, so for CFP number two, it was $23.38. Would be the average escalation from the 2025 rates to 2026 rates. For CFP number three, it's a range between $15 if you live in a single unit or a multifamily unit, to $25 if you live in a larger detached unit. And you can see the variances based on the type of unit and the size of this unit based on this table.
And one last thing, so because I didn't understand this part, so you said that there's $9.2 million, pending or something?
So the special taxes are collected by the school district. They are sent from the county to the school district's fiscal agent. And they go to repay debt that's been issued off these special tax revenues, which are the certificates of participation that were used to build Vista Del Mar and Ocean View Hills too.
Oh, so basically we owe this money?
Yeah, the majority of the money that's collected is used to repay this debt and alleviates the general fund from that payment.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So Justin, I do have a question, because I want to think long term. I know that obviously we've done this significantly in the past to purchase land as well as to construct new schools. I'd like to see in the future to see what we can do to maybe create another CFD, particularly in the new construction happening all of Otay Mesa East. And I'm really happy you have a map for us, because it really identifies that the homes that are gonna be built, which are gonna be significant. Now, the Otay Mesa Planning Group, when they did their community plan update, they've accounted and they've allocated. Essentially, they've accounted for a piece of land for us to have or to work with in collaboration in order to ensure we are able to build a new elementary school as well as a new middle school. But knowing that we don't have a CFD in that territory yet, I'd like to start having that discussion. Because the truth is, and this is an absolute fact, and Miss Erica Mesa, Dr. Mesa actually, can attest to. To Ocean View Hills being overwhelmed, we need to do this now. In fact, we need to do this yesterday. So I'd like to see what we can do to get that process going, because we can't continue the way we've been doing. Ocean View Hills is one of the most populated schools, which is great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's too overwhelming. So we gotta build a new school.
And keep charging our taxpayers.
I understand your concerns, yeah. Unfortunately, the negotiation piece for new CFDs are outside the scope of what I do, but I know the school district has worked with their financial advisor, Dale Scott.
Okay.
On addressing those problems.
Okay, I'd like to have that discussion, Dr. Potter, in the future to see how we can start, because we need to build at least a new elementary school. So, and to help with Dr. Mesa out. Aside from many other things, yeah, that's something.
Any more?
No.
Thank you so much for your part, very thorough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, Dr. Potts?
So just to be clear, this information correlates with board agenda action item 11.7. Is that correct?
I don't have.
Ms. Adrianson? Yes. This information correlates with action item 11.7.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So now we're on, 10.3. San Ysidro voters in the justification before presentation presented by.
Yes. Start.
Yes. Thank you.
Again, my name is Justin Ewing. I work with Key Analytics, and we prepared the school district's developer fee justification report for fiscal year 2026. So the developer fees are intended to help mitigate the impact created by new development on school facilities within the school district's boundaries. And these fees are justified and presented to the board every other year. So 2024 was the last time the board would have seen this. The state allocation board sets what the maximum level 1 fee can be, and then the school districts can justify that rate so they can charge a higher amount. The developer fee is a fee that is paid for all new development within the boundaries of the school district. So there's one fee for residential development, and there is another fee for residential or for commercial industrial. So the report that we're asking the board to approve tonight is justifying the maximum amount the school district can charge or can justify under the level 1 fee for 2026. The developer fees are paid at the time a certificate of compliance is requested by that developer, and the money is given to the school district to be used for capital facility projects to help mitigate the impact on that development or on new development on school districts.
Thank you. So to be very clear, the homeowner is not paying the developer fees, but rather the contractor who builds the commercial or residential property is paying the developer fees.
Yeah, the owner of that property, if they're coming in to, let's say, build a new home, so let's say Lennar is building a tract new home and they don't want to.
Yes, so we're very clear,
Yeah.
it's the contractor or the builder paying the developer fee to the district, not the homeowner or owner of a small business.
Well, the owner of a small business would be paying the commercial industrial fees if they were building a new commercial or industrial.
New building.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but it's, yeah, again, it's only to reiterate, it's only for new development within the boundaries of the school district.
Thank you.
The fee that is proposed to be approved tonight is for $3.28, which represents a 13-cent increase over the current level 1 fee, which is $3.15 for residential property. And then the increase for the commercial industrial fee would be 53 cents, which is a 2% increase over the current level 1 industrial commercial fee of 51 cents. This represents a 4.06% increase over the current level 1 fee.
All right, so one more time to be clear, if I look at the bottom of your chart, what the bottom of your chart is telling me is that for new residential buildings, the developer fees would increase by 13 cents
Per square foot.
per
Yes.
square foot, okay? And by 2 cents for commercial.
Correct.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Yeah, Justin, how does our fee compare to other communities in terms locally here? Just because here's the reality. Contractors and developers are there for profit for the majority, unless they're nonprofit. But even then, there's also some issues where even the nonprofits are making a lot of money. So how does our fees compare to other neighboring communities?
So the maximum fees are set forth by the state allocation board.
Okay.
So we are charging the maximum fee that we can justify, which is the maximum fee the state would allow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be in comparison with most of the school districts in the area, because most of the school districts have justified or in the process of justifying a higher level 1 fee.
Thank you.
Yeah, does any of this comes with any new regulations? Do you know if this is gonna affect any, anything with ADUs or anything with any contract service? Do they bond together with something else? And if there's a delay on construction, is this gonna affect too, or is it locked as well?
That's a tricky question. It's a great question, but it's a tricky question because the state does change or mandate different fees all the time. Sometimes they'll come forth and say, there might not be any of the school fees if it's within like a transportation center or if it's low income housing. Currently, the only thing I'm aware of that's kind of a change in the recent law is about ADUs. And I believe the law is stating that, and I'm not an expert in the law on ADUs, so I could be mistaken, so I don't want to you know, I'm
If
doing my
you
best.
already changed.
Yeah, I can change tomorrow as well, but that there would be no school fees for an ADU as long as it's under either 750 square feet or 500 square feet, it's one of those two. There's also regulations from the state about tracking the use of developer fees, which the school district brings forward to the board for approval every December too, so. There's a disclosure report that the school district provides as well.
And every time is a different fee. It's a new,
The developer fee escalates every 2 years.
okay.
So the next time with this board would be asked to approve a new level 1 fee would be in 2028.
Thank you.
And just for sake of clarification, this information that you shared, it correlates with the public hearing on developer fees under items 11.8 and 11.9. And then the action item on the agenda 11.10. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you again. So now. We're on 10.4, board workshop number 3, 25-26 state. Of the district's annual year review presented by Superintendent Dr. Gina Potter, cabinet and members and the management team.
Thank you, Madam President. In the interest of time, I'd like to just skip right over to slide number 3. You do have the board workshop presentation in your packets, and the audience should also have the board workshop presentation in your packets as well. This is really a celebration of the great successes that our students and our schools have had this 2025-2026 school year, along with our departments. So on slide number 3, you'll see that our theme of the year was Scholar. And we're very, very excited to be able to share with you that that the focus of Scholar or Academico has been a wonderful success this year for our schools. I'm going to give you a moment to go ahead, our board members and also audience members, to go ahead and peruse for a few minutes slides 4 through 44. I know it's a big ask that I'm asking of you, but we are trying to be respectful of everybody's time this evening. And to go ahead and just take a few minutes, I'll give you about 5 minutes to look at slides 4 through 44, which share our district's vision and mission, all of the notable highlights for the school year across our schools and throughout our school district, and within our elementary, our preschool and middle schools. And then also across our departments. So I will stop talking and give you about 5 minutes to peruse the successes of this school year.
So.
I'll stop here on slide 23. You can see that our class scores increased in English language arts by 13%. Our math scores increased by 3.
Do we start making questions?
We've got about 3 more minutes for you to get all the way to slide 44.
Okay. Is each school gonna present then?
In the interest of time, I'm letting you peruse each of the slides.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, fine.
Yeah, I'm attempting to keep us to the,
Got it. Okay,
yeah, to the board bylaw end time.
okay.
About a minute and a half of reading. For our board members, would you like a few more minutes or are you ready for us to move on to the next section of this presentation? Anybody need a few more minutes? No? All right. So this next piece, we are going to be pivoting to slide 49 in a moment, which is looking to the new school year. But before we do that, we have several people who have just begun their summer break. But rather than to start summer break, they came to our governing board meeting in order to help us with the end of year review, and they are here in our audience. And so our board president has for each of you from the governing board a coin, a leadership coin for going above and beyond. If you look at the bottom of the slide, for example, this slide 48, you see MCR. That's Maria Connie Rodriguez. So if you want to know what they contributed to our end of year review, you could see their initials at the bottom right of the slide near the page number, and you'll be able to see what they did and the hard work they put in to everything from student achievement to about 120 before and after school programs, all with extracurricular activities like the Let Folklore Go and robotics types of programs. You could see all of the parent engagement that happened, including over 38,700 contacts, almost 1 million meals by our child nutrition services, and more. So we're extremely proud of the hard work and the accomplishments of our family here in San Ysidro School District. And I'm going to hand our board president the leadership coins. So when you hear your name, if you would step up and to be recognized with the leadership coin for going above and beyond. And our board president, Mrs. Lopez, will hand you your coin. Yes. Okay, so these are in no order, particular order, but we recognize you for going above and beyond in your leadership this school year, and also for not yet starting your summer break, but helping with the end of year report to our district and to our governing board, beginning with Connie Rodriguez.
Yeah, Connie.
And Rick Quintana. Melissa Cerda. Matthew Vandy's unable to be here, but we recognize him. Let's give him a clap. Mayren Ruiz. Cynthia Mostella. Marilyn Adrianson. Todd Lewis was not able to be here, but let's give him a clap. The mighty Manuel Borges. Feliz Fiestas. Julie Pretzer. Luis Ramos. Efrain Burciaga. Dr. Erica Mesa.
Magdalena. Magdalena, you can join us. Thank you.
Dr. Jose Inigo was not able to be here.
Laura English and Ms. Dr. Moore couldn't be here.
I'd like to see if there's extra, I'd like to see a good one to begin, and our IT.
We do. So Miguel Ortega. Go, you go, you go.
Mr. Rodriguez Garcia.
You've got Andrew?
Yeah.
And then Mr. Pablo signs?
We're missing one employee in the back.
Oh, where?
Yeah, here.
Did I miss?
Okay.
He has a-
Our campus security.
Okay, security check.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you for going above and beyond. That now leads us in this presentation to the board's guidance. So slide 49, if you can go to there. A big shout out and thank you to Mr. Miguel Ortega for designing the new year and flower. Thank you, Miguel. Beautiful. So this will be on our pins for the new school year and also on the banners for the new school year. So we thank the board. This was the theme of the year. You actually chose two before, so this was for year 2. So thank you so much. Now we ask the question of the board for your guidance, thinking about next year and looking at all that we've accomplished this year and thinking about last board meeting's LCAP presentation and LCAP goals that we have along the lines. And Mrs. Rodriguez, would you share the 3 LCAP goals, just the title, so we can be thinking
Student
about
achievement is number 1,
student achievement?
school culture, climate, and student well-being is number 2,
Okay,
and our parent engagement is number 3.
thank you. Okay, so,
What's the second one, Connie?
School culture, climate, and student well-being.
okay, so we have student achievement, number 1, number 2, school culture, climate, and well-being of children. And then number 3, parent engagement. So thinking about the 3 LCAP goals and the successes of this year so far, we ask the board for your guidance, collective guidance on your top 3 focus areas for the new school year. So this is hard because you all have to collectively choose in order numbers 1, 2, and 3. So Madam President, I'll defer to you to facilitate the conversation so the board can help us give some guidance on your top 3 focus areas you'd like us to consider and work on for next year. Okay,
Madam President, if it's okay, I like to just throw it out there. I like to start.
Logan.
So obviously, all 3 are significantly important to ensure that the quality of each student is the best quality. But really, a student achievement, student success in the classroom and outside the classroom are really the purpose of why we're doing what we do above everything else. So I'd like to suggest that student achievement always be number 1. But here's the truth is that I think a lot of times people they misinterpret what the success of a child's education is. And often the misconceptions are, book study kind of like success. So if a person is good at math, or if a child is good at, writes his thesis and his essays and is able to accomplish, that's all important. But the truth is that I feel we need to improve. And I want to just give a quick shout out to Mr. Ramos. I think he's done a great job in doing our after-school program and extracurricular activities, but we definitely need to improve, in my opinion, our music, theater, and dance programs. I want to see how we can improve on that, because studies I've always shown that, and when I started here, I remember especially at Sims, they'd have plays. Who remembers those plays? Aladdin, I saw, what was it? I saw Wicked, really cool.
Lion
King,
Lion King,
Coco,
Coco.
oh yeah, that was a good one. But the truth is that, if we can find a way to fund that type of of activities. I think that would be part of the success a child needs to achieve in school. So I just wanted to throw it out there, and that's really my 2 cents, particularly in our middle schools, because what I want to do is, middle schools is a hard time for any child, and I can tell you for a fact that it's really essentially a crossroads as to how you'll do in high school. And I want to ensure that at least in the middle schools that we're offering electives, that our students can be happy to attend. Because the truth is that math and English and, social science and science are all great, but it'd be cool to have like a journalism class or, something in addition to that, where kids can actually, I know we do have a journalism class, but I'm just saying, improving on the number of electives we have, that way our middle school kids can have more options and really explore ideas. One idea we had a long time ago, unfortunately, the kids didn't like it, was like a wood shop class, like construction technology, but apparently the kids didn't bite, so that's up to them. But the truth is that something on those lines, offering that is really important. That way, when they get to high school, they get a taste of what it is to really, choose their classes, and then obviously think about what their careers are gonna be. But that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I want to say that one can't function without the other, so it's like everything is interrelated. You have to have parent participation to have student success. You have to have, the culture of the school and the climate has to be a place where students want to be. And I know, like, when I think about the heart of some of the most effective programs we've had in the last 8 years in this district come from science and STEM. And the future of STEM in, the future of jobs that we don't even know they exist. I had an opportunity to attend a graduation from UCSD this past Saturday. There were 12 students who graduated from UCSD at this party together. All 12 students went to school here in San Ysidro. They went to Willow, they went to Sims, and they went to Sweetwater, San Ysidro High School. They were all first-time generation students attending a university, and they've all majored in degrees that I don't even know if I would be able to pass any class. So for us to have those high expectations in a setting where it's not scary for them to be part of, and children are sponges, we all know that, and they're willing to learn. So when I think about a strong program like sci-fi, it's impacted the learning of our students. If you look at the science scores, they have improved over the years compared to 20 years ago, because now we have a fixed program in science and sci-fi. And I know we've lost a few teachers, but I want to make sure we continue that program as a strength. And also children come to school because of sci-fi. They all talk about it. They all want to be scientists and engage in hands-on learning. So I think if we look at it, instead of separating all three and prioritizing, well, this is the most important, all three are important. And one cannot develop without the other. And I know if we're continuously trying to bring new activities at our schools that will motivate our students to come to school, we have to look ahead in the future of what kinds of jobs and degrees are people getting into, so that we jump, ahead of time and start providing some of these activities, like doing more book clubs at schools. When you read in a group, and I know some of you belong to groups, and you can have those meaningful dialogue with books and discussing how it relates to our world, instead of us thinking these are the science books they should read in 6th grade. When you do group reading, children become more motivated. And I know technology is critical, but the human being is what's more critical than anything. Being able to have dialogue, that connection. So I think if we find a way, I had drawn like a Venn diagram, being a teacher here, and thinking about how we all, and in the middle is the child, and we're looking at the success of this child. He will never succeed alone. he will succeed because of his environment and the support that he gets every day that he's in school. So I know when we look at, our priorities, we just always want to make sure we're providing programs that are really motivating children to come to school. If they don't come to school, they are not learning. If they are bored at school, they are not learning. If we're over testing them, they're not going to want to come. I know there's ways to do assessments with portfolios where children demonstrate what they're learning. Some of the schools that I'm familiar with, they have students do more of presentations of what they've learned. That's much more meaningful than passing a test because in the real world, they have to go out there and know what they're doing and be able to stand before an audience or their company or their business or a school. They have to be able to explain what they're learning. So I really know that our children are in a very, very competent school district, in spite of what people think. Because we have educators and support staff who care. We have an administration who it's their vacation and they're here. Because there's not one person that I know in this district who works just because it's contract time and I'm out of here. You're always thinking of what can we do best for our students. So for me, my behalf, I really want to see us finding ways and also with parents, I think we're doing a great job communicating. I love the highlights. You're always informing the community. Each school, this year I noticed more on your websites that since I kept seeing some of the neat things that you were doing there, I kept saying, wow, that's great. In the preschool, your art galleries, and that was so neat. I was like, oh, I wish I would have known. I would have gone. So I just really think we have to continue doing that. And the community is always aware of what's going on. They really appreciate that communication and continue looking for programs that we could bring to our parents so that we can facilitate and help them understand how to best help their children at home. Because when you're teaching that sixth grade math and it's complicated, we need to find a way to scaffold and teach our parents how we're teaching them in the classroom because it doesn't work the old way in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s where you better memorize everything and you better add in your brain. We're not there anymore. So we have to find ways to make what we're learning in the classrooms accessible to parents so they know how to best support their children. That's the only way a child is going to succeed, not because, genuinely, some kids are just geniuses, and they all are. They all have the potential. But many of us, at least myself, I learned because of many people who supported my learning. And so that's.
I like it. Yeah.
I agree with what Antonio said and also what Sonaya said, and I know that I saw the sci-fi also being offered to our special ed children because of one teacher who wanted to do it and had the ability and has the ability and has ideas. And I think that, that changed a lot. And even the special ed children to be a part of that sci-fi. And I think these three, student achievement is very important. And I know that we've talked about in Antonio, we've talked about bringing music to the middle school, bringing the mariachi, which we had before, the performing arts that we had with teachers that were excellent and loved what they do. And I think that we need to bring it back to our community. Our kids need that. So I think that's another thing that we really need, but also parent participation is very important. We need their input, we need their ideas, and not only that, I know that a lot of parents don't want to come because they feel that they're being stopped or being antagonized, and I tell them, no, you're the voice for your child. You have that right. So I think that's another way of bringing our community even better and helping each other and working with each other. The other one is also school culture. We have a lot of our schools have different cultures, especially Ocean View Hills. And I think it's great to see even bring back some culture dances or music because those people have the ability to share that. And that's what our community needs. We've grown now So I remember, well, I believe, I used to say the old San Ysidro was where I lived. But the new San Ysidro is really San Diego Ocean View Hills. Mr. Del Mar, parents in that community come from beautiful cultures. And that's what we should be sharing. And I'd like to see that in the schools also. It could be Filipino dances or even different religions or whatever, but that's how we live together, unite and work together. Also, look at our preschool children. Our preschool children, that program has enriched in many ways, and our kids are, boy, when we go to visit the schools, we ask them, what are you learning? Do you like this program? And they tell you, they're truthful, and they love what they're learning. And that really makes us feel even better, knowing that these programs that we're bringing to our schools and to our children in our community are really helping them to become future leaders, future scientists. So I believe in those three are the most important, and we need to continue. And with the staff that we have, we've been able to show, how much we've grown. And that's really a vow to me to respect you and support you as far as, we go on, because I know we'll be able to do even more. So that's my word saying, so thank you.
Okay, so my turn. Well, I really agree with all of you. I do think we need to have priorities in mind. First of all, well, I was expecting, maybe a small presentation about, all the increases we had for, the report cards. So I see that we got we have, most of them, we do have increases, and that's great, amazing. Math and ELA, and, I just wish we could see the real percentage, the new number, instead of just looking at what it increased. We can put that, and also what's the real percentage. I think I asked this last year. But I'm happy that we are seeing increases in every level. And that brings me to my other point. I think we should always focus in, student achievement, the basics, right? Reading and writing and math. We should always focus on that. We don't see the real percentage, but last time I checked, like, we were around 30%, 35% in reading and writing. So I think we should try the best we can do to at least meet 50%, right? All of our students should know how to read and write in each grade level, and also math. Math, I know it's actually less, or probably around 25%. Achieving, well, that was the last card report. I don't know what's the update because it's not here. But we should always focus on that, on the basics. That's what schools are for, to reading and writing and to learn math. And that's why we need to look for even more support on how can we actually support them. Like, I know instructional aids are very, very useful always, and it makes a big difference. I know that was kind of like a combination of, it happened in since, and that's why the percentage in math got up, because we have more one-on-one support. That is always so important, to have that one-on-one support. So that definitely, that will be priority number one, always. And yes, student achievement. And yes, I don't know if music and all of that goes in that one as well. But after that, after math and reading and writing, PE, I think it's a very important also class for each student. As we know, obesity levels are going up every year. So I think we should also focus on, I really like the classic way of how it was before, push-ups, running, track, stuff like that. I know that right now we have a program which is sci-fi. And that's a combination of his physical education and science, and that's great. But I think we should focus a lot in PE and have our kids healthy. We need them to be healthy for now and for the future, and so they can live years and years. And after that, yes, I agree, music, dance. That will be amazing if each school, not some, could have music, a music band, or not like a big band, but maybe, the basics, guitar, drums, and maybe singing and dance. Like, like the wonderful show we got last meeting. I don't think just we should pick and choose of which school should have these programs. I think every school should have these programs, and we should definitely use the grants that are for it. We should use Prop 28 to invest in our own, in our own district, not to give it away to other contractors or to other corporations. We should invest it in our own people, in our own materials, like instruments, or maybe, the outfits for the dances. So that will be focus number one for student achievement. I think the way it's structured right now, parent engagement should definitely be number two this year. But because like everybody says, every principal, you're not gonna let me lie, but we know that values also comes from home. And everything comes from how a student is educated. It's a teamwork of two, always, parents and schools. So we need to have more parent involvement. We need to see the ways we can attract them. We already had this talk before, Ms. Rodriguez. And just reach for the stars, right? We need to just try to pull them any way possible. Social media, different portals to go to, mainstream meetings, and we need a lot of volunteering from them. I think that brings a lot of involvement, because when parents are volunteering to schools, then it's a whole environment. Like we saw it with Ms. Roxanne Palestino. She created a great environment in La Mirada, and they did great things for graduation. And that this was parent team effort, and we can see parents want to be involved. They want to, and they can. They are available. We just need to give them the resources for them to just come with us, and create a team effort. And also for parental involvement, and I think it's very important for us to provide trainings for our parents. Well, I know we do offer many trainings, but I know there's some things missing, like I requested last year. I think that parents should be trained on, how the educational district works. Who is on the top, who they can go to if something happens, what is the procedure for different things. I think that type of trainings are very necessary for our parents. And not, we are in a community of Hispanics, and I include myself because I was like this before, believe it or not, shy. Our parents are shy. They're just kind of scared to go forward, and just to request something from a parent is kind of difficult for them. So it's very important for them to give them the tools so they know that they're available. And then number three, that is school climate. Climate? School culture, sorry, yes, school culture. Well, definitely, I think always in every situation, safety should be always number one. Safety is how, parents and students will feel happy to go back to school because they know they're in a safe environment. So I think we need to keep looking for ways to keep them, more safe. We know there's incidents, we know things happen. And I'm not gonna repeat it 100 times, I'm just gonna say it this time. I think we should definitely look into cameras as well. Cameras, like Ms. Roxanne Bastino shared, cameras in every school like other districts have in common areas. I'm not gonna talk more about it, you already know. Also, well, and of course, I'm not gonna let this slide, special ed, is, we need a little bit, I think we need to work more, in inclusion, in, not just inclusion, but to have a sense of belonging for students. I know we do share a lot of events with them. I think we should have, well, some events. I think we should share more events with them. So every student, feels comfortable with them and vice versa. And that also takes me to, field trips. I requested this as a, board policy months ago, last year. I think every special ed student should have the right to, and not just the student, but also the parent, to choose if they want to go to a field trip or not. I don't think any of us should decide for them. I think, that's just what inclusion is all about. Okay, so, sorry, but I don't think principals, administration, or teachers should decide for them, if they're gonna go up to a field trip or not. I think the parents should be the ones to decide, because it's heartbreaking when a special ed student does want to go to a field trip, but they didn't got the opportunity to choose. So I think we should definitely do that in school culture. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Farnham.
If I may ask, thank you for helping with the technology. Can we make the screen so it's 75% so we can see the whole slide at the same time? Perfect. All right. To our governing board members and our governance team, based on what I've been hearing, I believe that you've been able to identify within the 3 LCAP goals focus areas for student achievement and success, parent engagement, and school culture. If you might just look at this slide, and I tried very hard to capture your comments. Do you have any amendments or edits?
No.
None from Mr. Martinez, Board Member Martinez.
Yes, for student achievements,
Mhm.
oh yeah, reading, writing, and math continuation is okay. Does it matter the order
No.
of the importance? Okay.
All 3 are LCAP goals, and the board has done a beautiful job focusing on the 3 LCAP goals, which the LCAP is embedded in the agenda. Thank you.
Okay.
They will be equally prioritized. Board Member Rosari,
Yes.
Board Vice President.
I just want to make sure that we state there, and under the leadership of Mr. Ramos, because I know he oversees the sci-fi program, that we make sure, because I know some sci-fi members are going to be leaving for like leave or other opportunities that have opened for them. that we can staff it so that the program can be effective. Because it's gonna be very difficult to run a sci-fi program for all our elementary schools with only 4 teachers. So we have to make sure that we look at our program and also that we allow the sci-fi team to collaborate with, the director who oversees the program to make sure that we have the personnel and staff needed to make sure this program continues effectively the way we started it at the beginning of. the
Just
year.
a little update, Ms. Rosario, we have been in collaboration with Sci-Fi. So this coming year is gonna be 6 teachers. And they actually, Ms. Juanita Nunez in collaboration with the Sci-Fi teachers came out with a bi-weekly schedule. We're scheduled to meet with them once they come back. We finalize the schedule, as you know, we presented also to the SYSD because that does impact in their part of the union. So that we can finalize the schedule. So right now, tentatively, we have a schedule, a bi-weekly schedule. Make adjustments in the hours, but I think they did a great job with the proposal that I have,
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Bojorquez. I will also add that, upon the 45-day budget revision, then at that point, the board can look at the commitments to see if there's any one-time money, for your focus areas. So I heard from 2 board members in terms of edits and amendments. Thank you. I will, ask board member Martinez, did you?
Oh,
did
no,
you say
go
that?
ahead.
Oh, so I've heard from 3,
Dr.
trustee
Perez.
Pereza.
Yeah, well, I don't know, can we specify under safety what I said? About cameras?
Would you like me to write, campus security cameras?
Yeah, that would be great.
I would need the board to collect, that's a construction project, which is why I put it as safety. If the board would collectively need to make that decision when we issue the geo bonds.
Okay.
So, the next issuance of geo bonds is planned for 2027.
Okay. I was gonna
Do
say.
you want me to indicate that the board would decide in 2027? It's a construction project.
Sure, yeah, but I think it should be important to put a note there.
So
If it's possible.
campus security cameras,
Possibilities.
to be determined by the board. During next issuance of geo bonds. And oh, I don't know what just happened.
Yes.
We won.
Okay, back to the.
All right. And again, we believe, ETA estimated time is 2027. All right. The person I haven't heard from in terms of editing or amending the focus areas is Madam President Lopez. Do you have any edits or amendments to the slide?
No, I think most of the most important thing, they're set in there, and I really wanna commend because we had a growth in our schools, which I think our ELA, our math, and I think that the most important thing is because of our community. I saw here, how our English speakers, learners really, went up to 229 when, I think it's a very important site that our kids are learning and being able to be, it's, well, they are, you know, what, they are being considered, but the most important thing is the work that we've done with them. I think it's for the future, their education has been reclassified as an English learner is something that the parents are very proud and grateful for. And I think that's what is our community is about. And this not only in, because kids are Spanish speaking, but other languages that are in our community. It shows that we've done a very great job and we'll continue to do that. But that's another thing that I would like to see, maybe putting something to do with that in English, keeping them be able to be reclassified for the next year. And maybe another part, I don't know, chronic absenteeism has been a very hard issue for all the schools. And I think it could be from a lot of things. It could be from how our people are afraid to send their kids to school because of what the ICE and all these other agencies that have caused a lot of stress, a lot of terror, and a lot of parents being afraid. And I think that's an issue that we need to really concentrate and help our community and the constant absenteeism. And I know sometimes there is something else involved in that. Maybe our children are mental and ability to understand the world now. I think it affects them mentally and physically. And I think that's very important. Chronic absentee is very important. And it's up to us to find a way to help them in whatever way needs to be done. So that's the only thing that I see that I would like to see. Also add.
Madam President, I added the English language learners under student achievement to continue high rates of reclassification rates for reclassified fluent English proficient. And then the chronic absenteeism under school culture support for these students. Good on. So that concludes. If we can make this slide just a little smaller, maybe 50%, it will be very tiny. But one last look for our board members. You have your focus areas for the three, not in any order, equally important. In the areas of student achievement and success, parent engagement, and school culture for the new 2026-2027 school year. Well done. Let's give them a clap. And that concludes our board workshop, which is agenda item 10.4.
Thank you. So now we're on.
Madam President, can we have a quick bathroom break?
Sure.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I can pass that over, we can, you know, have along with that. That one, you're trying to roll our tires around, X, Y, Z.
Back to the board. 8:14.
Yeah.
Try to be now on 10.5. And the California Dashboard Local Indicator Board presentation presented by Citizens and Educational Leadership and People Services Lion Waters and coordinator of federal and state program and language acquisition, Maria Consuelo Rodriguez. What's yours?
You know, we get this before, in the workshops.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, Dr. Potter. Part of our board agenda today is to for our LCAP. And this presentation talks about our local indicators. And this is what goes in the California dashboard. So these also have to be uploaded to the California Department of Education. So as previously described in my last presentation, we do have state priorities. And our 5 local indicators is what goes into our California dashboard. And priority number 1 is our basic conditions. Priority number 2 is our implementation of academic standards. Priority number 3 is parent engagement. And then we jump to priority 6, which is school climate. And priority 7, which is access to a broad course of study. So these are our 5 local indicators that go in the California dashboard. So I'm gonna be skipping around. Is that okay, Dr. Pine? Okay, so we will, our priority 1 is our basic needs, our basic conditions, which are teachers, books, and facilities. Our, sorry, download depends on. Our priority number 2, there's a couple of slides, but I'm gonna just generalize and go over our slides. Priority number 2 deals with the implementation of our academic standards. And they talk about professional development, our materials, our policies and programs, and other adopted academic standard materials. And we also talk about the support for our teachers and administrators in priority number 2. It's broken down into all those sections. Let's skip ahead a little. Our priority number 3 deals with our parent engagement. And around these priorities, we're gonna see progress promoting parent participation or engagement. And student outcomes, how our students are involved in that process as well. About decision-making for students, decision-making for parents. And that parent participation is part of this priority number 3. Our priority number 6 is our school climate. And this is the only thing that we have on priority number 6 is our school climate. So it deals with our community partners, what's happening inside the school sites, what programs do we have for our students to promote school climate. And then our last one is access to a broad course of study. And there's several indicators within this priority. And we talk about, I'm sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. We talk about our unduplicated students. We talk about our progress over time, where students have access to a broad course of study. And broad course of study is our core curriculum. As I explained in our last LCAP, we are talking about our English language arts, our math, social studies, science, PE, remember physical education is part of our course of study, our bar course of study. Do our students have access to that? And any barriers that we have for access to course of study is included in there as well. And then any decisions that we made as a district to support to implement and support the barriers that we see that we want to make sure that we address. And just so the board knows, we met all of our 5 priorities and as our state indicators, when we're uploading it, we are in compliance for all 5. We have all met them.
If I may, thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. If I may, the decision the board made today goes in line with what the local indicators as well as the LCAP. And I want to thank you for that. Having met the local indicators for the state, it doesn't mean that there's no room for growth. There's a continued room for growth. You gave us guidance today, and that falls within the expectations, right? That we need to continue working on this engagement of our parents, providing opportunities. We need to continue working on academic achievement and also the culture of the schools. So I want to thank you for that guidance. This is something that the local indicator is something that's an informational piece. It's something that usually we are in a culture of presenting it to the board. I want to thank you for your time.
Well, thank you both so much for your hard work on the LCAP and this section of the LCAP, which are the local indicators. It's many hours, hundreds of hours to aggregate all of the data and then to look and analyze the data to see if we've met our 5 local indicators. And it's a great success to have a district that met all 5. So I applaud you and your leadership throughout the district to meet all 5 LCAP local control indicators. And then just for point of clarification, this presentation goes hand in hand with the information item on the general administration portion of the agenda 11.6. Is that correct? Correct. Outstanding.
Anyone else? No? And now we award a thank you for and awarded for going above and beyond. And thank you. Thank you for making us. You've made us even more prouder of the lovely work you've done. So you will be called. It's really an 8 class. So thank you. So we have in this general administration, but we do have 11.1 is regarding the 25-26 Citizen Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report. It's information only, but we do have let's see, Roxanne Palestino. No.
Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I want to thank the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, Dr. Iniguez, and district staff for their work overseeing these important bond projects. It's so encouraging to see investments being made in our schools and improvements that will benefit students and families for years to come. I also want to share my experience as a community member trying to participate in the Bond Oversight Committee. The report shows that 2 meetings were canceled due to lack of quorum. I know that firsthand because I attended what was supposed to be the last Bond Oversight Committee meeting of this school year. Unfortunately, it was canceled because there was no quorum. Even though the meeting could not proceed, I was still able to tour San Ysidro Middle School and see some of the bond-funded improvements. In fact, if you look at the photos included in this report, you'll see me there with my friend Brandon Placencia. We showed up ready to listen, learn, and better understand how these bond dollars are being invested in our schools. Community members are constantly encouraged to get involved, attend meetings, and stay informed. We did exactly that. We took time away from our families and responsibilities because we care about our schools and because we believe public oversight matters. This is so important because voters have entrusted the district with more than 256 million in bond authority. That is a tremendous amount of public trust and a tremendous responsibility. I appreciate the volunteers who serve on this committee. I hope moving forward is that these meetings have the participation needed to fulfill the responsibility voters entrusted to this committee. Transparency is also about showing up, engaging with the public, and making sure oversight remains active and accessible. Our community voted for these bonds because we believe in our students. We want safe schools, modern facilities, updated classrooms, and learning environments that prepare our children for the future. I look forward to seeing these projects continue to move forward and to seeing strong oversight every step of the way.
Thank you.
We're 11.2, Madam President.
So now we have 11.2 is adoption of the local control accountability plan for school year 26-27.
So moved.
Martinez makes the motion, I'll second it. We'll have a vote.
Do we have any discussion?
Oh, yeah. Do we have any?
I don't.
No. Are we okay?
Aye.
Aye?
Everybody's on the same page for once.
Did any response?
Yeah, so 4-0.
4-0, yeah, sorry. 4-0, it passes. We're on 11.3 now. Approve, local control accountability plan, LCAP, every student succeeds. At ESSA federal addendum for school year 26-27.
So moved.
Okay. Second by Zenaida Rosario. Any discussion? No? Okay, may I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. 11.4. Resolution number 25-26-0062, education protection account, EPA, for 26-27 spending plan.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Antonio, second by me. Any discussion?
We're not, there's no presentation or anything about that?
No.
Marilyn, that's you.
No, I mean, just if we can have like a little overview of what this is, I know it's a total.
Yeah, it's part of the local control funding formula, it's all part of that calculation, and it is an EdCord requirement to bring to the board a budget spending plan. And we normally, in the plan tonight, it is for certificated instructional services for our teachers. It's about 774,000, I believe.
So this is, additional to everything, all the plans that we have done, within the budget, or?
It's included in the budget.
Okay, so it's from the general fund?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because
The
here it says,
LCFF.
it says educational protection account, what does that mean?
It's a funding stream from revenue stream from the state of California that's built into the LCFF. It has to do with proposition. What was it, 55 or it's the taxpayer? I forget the name, which one it is, 55.
Okay, so it,
That's about to expire in 2030, I believe.
okay, so it's already included then?
Yes, it
That's
is.
what I was, I guess. Doubting, okay. Okay, got it, thank you so much.
Okay, may I have a vote?
Aye.
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 Passes 4-0. 11.5. This is a budget adoption for fiscal year 26-27.
26, 2027. I'll make a motion, Madam President.
Okay, motion by Mr. Antonio Martinez.
Second.
Zenaida Rosario seconds.
We do have one public comment,
Yes.
which is.
Mr. Glenn Francisco.
Perfect.
Perfect board, I'm here to clarify a couple things. This year, we will not be able to get our bond ratings up. Why? We don't meet the 3% minimum. Dr. Porter, you should be aware of this. Right? We don't meet the 3% minimum. We're getting a 2.47% in our required reserves, so we're not meeting that. As it states currently, that has to do with, I believe it was pre-K, let's see here. Correct, yes, it looks like the pre-K is where we're missing, where we're still waiting on those numbers, is that correct? If that is correct, we possibly are not gonna meet that 3% requirement. An additional item I'd like to bring up here is Finch's own article here. This was publicized on Wednesday, April 15th, 2026, 2:09 PM Eastern time. And it says rating sensitivities, factors that could individually or collectively lead to a negative rating action / downgrade. A continued inability to adjust expenditures in line with revenues despite budget stabilization measures, leading to an inability to rebuild unrestricted general fund reserves in compliance with the state mandated minimum of 3% of the general fund expenditures. Elevated concerns about management practices due to ongoing challenges developing a structural balanced budget. A sustained approximate 80% increase in long-term liabilities and carrying costs absence an increase in personal income or government revenue. A prolonged and significant deterioration of the district's already weak demographic and economic metric level, including a sharp deterioration of the district's already declining enrollment. So this is not from me, this is directly from the credit bureau themselves. Rating, the district as we stand, and as these numbers stand, we're not meeting that, right? It says here transitional kindergarten enrollment has not been finalized yet. However, multiple multi-year projections indicate the district will meet 3% goals in both 2027 and 2028 subsequent years. So not this year, so not 2026 to 2027, possibly 2027 to 2028.
Increase.
Well, I can't.
Well, we can't,
Board.
are you done with your public comment?
No, if I can.
We can't, so what happens is for public comment, you make a comment.
Sure.
And then when you're done, then we have discussion as a board.
Okay, gotcha. So projected net changes in fund balance. The year 2028 to 2029, second subsequent year projected a net decrease shortfall. And all of these are your guys' numbers, I'm not analyzing them, anything else. I generally just look at your numbers, make notes, here is where we stand. The hope is that the district does do better. The hope is that we can find funding, that hopefully our federal partners can assist us in finding funding as well as our state partners. But some of the consequences that we've had created this budget mess. If we are trying to fix a district, right, or some of us are trying to fix a city, how are we gonna do so when we provide a negative balance? It's just crazy to me. Right now, the city of San Diego, the 8th largest city, is negatives, right? We're charging people for parking, we're nickel and diming them. And that's what I see again here at the district. We're gonna try to nickel and dime our way out of this. Why? Because we made irresponsible choices.
Do we have any discussion regarding the action item?
Yes. Nobody else? Okay.
I will when you're done, trustee Carlson.
Oh, you can go first.
I'll defer to you first, trustee Carlson.
Okay, well, it's more of a statement. Since I know there's no discussion always with me. So basically I will be voting no on this adopted budget. While I recognize that besides what Mr. Brandon brought to the table, which is excellent, an excellent point. I know that we made some changes where we made to preserve positions and address the district's financial challenges. Many of those decisions had significant impact on staff, families, and most importantly, our students. One of our biggest concerns continues to be my biggest concerns is to be object code 58,000 professional and consultant services. In the first interim report, this category total approximately, $12.9 million. By the second interim report, it had increased to over 23.1 million. In the adopted budget before us tonight, it has increased again to approximately, $23.4 million. That represents an increase of more than $10.5 million in less than a year. Or approx 82% from the first interim to this adopted budget. I remember the first interim was presented back in, what was it, December of 2025, and now we're here in June 2026 with an 82% increase for again for this category, which is professional and consulting services. What concerns me is that the lack of transparency surrounding this increase. The recent FCMAT report pointed out that the district made decisions to spend revenue that it did not have. And that is one of the reasons we find ourselves making difficult decisions today that affect employees, programs, and students. On March 12th of 2026, I formally requested in writing a vendor breakdown identifying who these vendors are from this category, how much each is being paid, and the purpose of those services. I specifically requested this information so I could fulfill my fiduciary responsibility as a board member. And as of today, I have not received a response. Why has this information not been provided to one of your own board members? And more importantly, why has it not been provided to the community we serve? Tonight, we are being asked to approve a budget that increases this category by more than $10.5 million. Yet the public still does not have a clear breakdown of where that money is going. Transparency is very important for the community, and for those reasons, I will be voting no on the adopted budget. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have any comments?
No.
Ms. Minor?
No.
No. Dr. Juan?
Yes. I will first start by thanking our chief business official, Ms. Adrianson, and your business team. You have a very small business team, but I have observed in the last, particularly 6 months, that you have worked around the clock 7 days a week and very long late hours on the budget. So thank you so very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. I will also thank our county office fiscal advisor, Dr. Glover, for his guidance to ensure that the budget that we bring to you this evening is numerically fiscally sound. And that's taken a lot of heavy lifting, and based on your previous experience as a superintendent and leading a much larger district than ours, we certainly appreciate your both expertise and experience in helping our district. With that said, I will share that during the last board meeting, when our CBO, Ms. Adrianson, was able to provide the presentation of the proposed adopted budget, which stands before us as an action item, I was very pleased to see that there's a commitment page in that presentation, which allows for the district to provide a 45-day budget revision. And on that 45-day budget revision, post the adoption of the state budget by June 30th, those commitments would fully restore a 3% reserve and possibly meet our ratings requirement or recommendation, actually, not requirement, but recommendation of a 5% reserve. So in within the timeline of the adopted budget, we do anticipate we're very close to a 3% reserve in this adopted budget. We're just a few steps away from it. And I'm excited and pleased to see that our business department, probably in the month of July, will be bringing to the board the revised budget, which would have fully restored the district's reserve for the 2026-2027 school year. What that means is roughly in an estimated time period, as soon as January or the beginning of 2027, then prior to the issuance of the next set of GO bonds or the first issuance of measures MMLL and KK, the new GO bonds, then both Fitch and also Moody's will have an opportunity to rescore our district and lift us back up to the A ratings that we have secured for the last 5 years in a row. So again, I'm grateful for the hard work and heavy lifting. With regards to vendors, I will point out that all vendor contracts are pre-approved by the governing board within the board agendas prior to the district engaging in services with those vendors. So the board does get to see the vendors and approve them within the board agendas on a monthly basis. Also, the expenditures for all vendors in our school district come in the form of notification to both the public and then approval by the board through 2 action items that come every month to the board meetings. The first is the expenditure report. And the details of the expenditure report, the full expenditure report is actually hyperlinked onto the board agenda. You can see the vendors and what we're paying them. And also within the purchase order report. So there's the purchase order that comes first, and then what comes second is the expenditure report. Finally.
Now that you're here, now that you're saying exactly that, since that's exactly what I talked about. Well, we know the expenditure and the purchasing report are not clear at all. I mean, that it needs more details, of course, to see what's exactly that services. And, it's always tough to get track of each vendor. I think if there's something that a board member is requiring with months of anticipation, I think a list. I mean, the category should have an order on what we're spending on, and I don't think that should be difficult to share to a board member. And even more when it's a matter of $23 million. I think it's very important to answer those questions always, because it is around 25% of our general fund. So, yes, sure, it is in our board agendas. I don't know who will be able to go through every agenda and put this together. So that's why it's very important to respond to these requests. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Peraza. I will share that the school district uses the California required standardized account code structure, which is called SACS. I apologize for the long acronym. I did not create that. The state of California did. And our accounting structure is perfectly aligned with the California standardized account code structure. The fiscal reports are run through a software system called PeopleSoft, which is audited on a monthly basis and run through actually the County Office of Education. I do hear you. I'm listening to you. And indeed, the district goal is to be as transparent as possible with regards to the budget. I will move on to the layoff concern. With the guidance of the governing board collectively, the board also was very concerned about both the certificated layoffs and also the classified layoffs that were a result of the budget reduction plan in order to balance our district's budget, which has been mightily impacted by both declining enrollment of about 600 students, which is a whole school of students. It equates to 9 million a year in revenues that we've lost, and also the increase of special education cost to over 16 million, of which we only receive about 4 million, I believe, collectively between the federal and state government. With that said, I'm grateful to the guidance of the board, the collective board, and grateful to our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Bohorquez, and also our Director of Human Resources, who all worked together collectively to offer an alternate job position to the vast majority of employees who were on the layoff list. And I'm so proud to share that if you look at the personnel action items on page 6 of our board agenda, which begin in section 12A, you'll start to see several appointments. And those appointments are all alternate jobs offered to employees on the layoff list, using restricted and grant funds. So again, I very much appreciate the fact, for example, of the roughly 8 certificated teachers on the layoff list. I believe as of yesterday, Mr. Burciaga offered all 8 an alternate job. With regards to the roughly 25 classified staff members on the layoff list, as of yesterday, Mr. Burciaga has offered almost all 25 of them an alternate job for the new school year. So I applaud the guidance and direction of the board, and I thank you very much.
Madam President, I'd like to call for a vote, please.
Okay, this is on 11.5.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
It passes 3-0.
3-1.
3-1, I mean, thank you. And now we're on 11.6. And this is information only, California dashboard local indicator.
11.7.
Around 11.7, and this is resolution number 25/26. And this is establishing annual special tax rates for community facilities district number 2 and number 3 for 26-27 school year.
I'll make the motion, Madam President.
I second.
Tony Martinez makes a motion, Senator Rosado seconds,
We do have one claim.
yes. Mr. Brendan Placencia?
So as we were seeing earlier, I was looking at the fees. What I was being clarified during the bathroom break is that they are equivalent to the Chula Vista Elementary School District. I would say for future fees, seeing that we utilize our resources as best as possible. From my understanding, some of our schools are empty. Well, I'd love to have a school and there is 15 acres available for free to the district. You know, it may not be necessary. This is news that I had talked with the developer actually, who informed me that they have 7.5 acres and there's 2 other parcel owners that would have to give these acres over to the school district before development. With that being said, you know, I urge the district to look nice and hard and see, hey, are we utilizing our resources as best as possible? While I applaud Antonio for wanting a new school, I think it's great to have better facilities for our children. I also say, let's be cautious with taxpayer dollars, as every dollar counts and the economy is very, very tough. I see a lot of friends and families struggling to make it on a day-by-day basis. So we need to consider this and make sure we put these hard-earned dollars to work in the best interest of the community. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have this? Do we have any discussion? If not, then, we have a motion and a second. May I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Plaza?
No.
3-1.
Sorry. Yes.
Thank you.
On top of.
Passes, okay. So now we're on 11.8, and I believe it's open public hearing to approve resolution number 2520, adopting fee justification study and approving the levy of increased statutory school fees on new residential and commercial industrial development pursuant to Education Code Section 17620 and Government Code Section 65995.
I'll make the motion, Madam President, to open the public hearing.
Thank you. So we are open.
No, we need a second, we need a vote on it, and then we'll
Okay.
open it up.
I'll make a second.
Okay.
And so now, we have a comment, Mr. Brendan.
We do, but what I believe, because he's not gonna comment on opening the public hearing, he wants to comment on the
Closing.
actual, when the hearing is done. Am I correct, Mr. Placencia? Yes. Alright, so then we open it first, we vote to
Okay.
open it, then he has his opportunity to speak, and then we close the public hearing.
Okay,
So we can call a vote, so to open.
Aye.
um. That's 4-0. And so, Mr. Placencia.
So as I mentioned earlier, we need to be careful how we spend our money. We need to be responsible with every single dollar that we get from the taxpayers. Why? San Diego is one of the most expensive cities in the nation. It's ridiculous how much we have to pay to live here. As I mentioned earlier as well, I had the option to move to a different state. I chose to stay in California. I chose to fight. I chose to fix my community. I decided to purchase in this area because I thought it was a great community. I could see a lot of potential in it, and I believe that it will succeed. It will have growth. You know, it's a little disappointing seeing, you know, that we've had to go through this process to fix the budget. I know other school districts had to too, so that's where I try not to be too harsh and be realistic with the matters, but we also put ourselves in this position. We didn't have to be here, but we're here because we chose to be here. We made these choices financially.
I apologize, Mr. Placencia. It's just, this is the public hearing on the developer fee study.
Correct, and as
So
I'm
the
saying,
focus
those,
would be on developer.
correct,
fees.
and those fees impact San Diegans every single day. Because decisions that this board makes impact those developers that pass those costs on to homeowners. It makes it harder to own a home. And this is what I'm saying, every single dollar that we spend makes a difference. There's people that are cash strapped, a lot of San Diegans are making it, and these developer fees, they can scare away developers. Why is it that in Texas, why is it in multiple different states, they're building like crazy? I was out there looking at the building boom in 2020. Right, I saw them building schools, I saw them building all sorts of infrastructure, I was amazed, but. Yet again, I caution you on overfeeing our developers, overfeeing our communities, and nickel and diming hardworking San Diegans. Thank you.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion, if there's any other comment regarding that, I'd like to make a motion to close public hearing to approve resolution number 25260059, adopting a fee justification study and approving the levy of increased statutory school fees on new residential and commercial industrial development pursuant to Education Code Section 17620 and the Government Code Section 65995. I'll make the motion for us to close the public hearing.
I second.
Yeah, so needs a second. May I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Thank you. So now we're on 11.10. Oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you. So now we're on 11.10. Resolution number 2526-0059, adopting a fee justification study and approving the levy of increased statutory school fees on new residential and commercial industrial development pursuant to Education Code 17620 and Government Code Section 65995.
So moved.
Mr. Martinez makes the motion. I'll second it.
I have a discussion.
Okay.
Okay, again, I will, and I apologize for the team here, not about you, it's about how, exactly what Mr. Placencia said, how are we here in this economy? And yes, I agree, every nickel counts. And this is not just one fee, I mean, if you combine all of them together, how much fees are we charging each property owner or developer? So while I understand the intent behind it, increase these fees, I do not believe this is the right time to place additional costs on development, home additions, or ADUs in our community. The city of San Diego already has a complex and expensive process for residents who want to build or improve their property. I also have concerns about approving additional fees when our district has access to voter-approved facility measures and other funding sources that should be prioritized first. As a time when San Ysidro School District is facing millions of dollars in debt. And with the measures and ongoing financial challenges, I believe our focus should be on maximizing and responsibly using the resources we already have before asking our community to absorb additional costs. For those reasons, I cannot support this increase and my vote is no.
Okay,
I'd like to call a vote, Madam President.
okay, aye,
Aye, no.
that's 3, 1 no. Resolution passes. We're on 11.11. And this is appointment to the South County Special Education Local Planning Area, SAPA, Community Advisory Committee,
So moved.
PAC. Anthony Martinez motion,
A second.
Tonight, over 7 seconds.
We do have public comments.
Yes, 11.11, Roxanne Palestino.
Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'd like to welcome the new CAC appointments, our gen ed teachers, Ms. Bishop, and our other teacher, our Ms. Callie, and the parent representative, Ms. Guzman. Thank you for them willing to serve our special education community. But I would also like to encourage greater transparency in the appointment process. As someone who has been actively involved in special education advocacy in South County CAC, I was not aware of a nomination period, application window, or recruitment process for these vacancies. Over the past few years, I, along with other parent leaders and advocates, worked across all 6 South County school districts, recruiting parents, teachers, and community members because for many years, the CAC was practically non-existent in the South Bay. We attended meetings, shared information with families, and helped rebuild awareness so parents would for once have a voice in special education. Because of that work, I know there are many qualified and passionate parents who would be interested in serving if they knew these opportunities existed. I would appreciate learning more about how these candidates were identified and selected. Would also love the opportunity to connect with Ms. Guzman and work collaboratively with her and Mr. Quintana this coming year to support families throughout our district and the South County region. I'm encouraged to hear that CAC members will be meeting regularly with their district special education leadership and reporting back to the CAC. That kind of collaboration and accountability can help ensure families' concerns are heard and addressed. Moving forward, I hope future vacancies can be publicly announced and widely shared so that all interested parents, educators, and community members have a fair opportunity to apply and serve. Thank you, and I look forward to continuing to work together on behalf of students with disabilities and their families.
Thank you. So now may I have a vote on this?
I do have discussion, Madam President. Okay, so as you all know, we were very active with this committee for a full year. Actually, Roxanne Palestino and myself helped creating this committee for South County wide over their national cities. So it took a lot of effort from us and time for this committee, which is about special education students in the whole South Bay, to be created. So it's a little disappointing to know that there was not a fair process. I would like to learn about the process, first of all, and I'm also a parent here in this district. I didn't receive, and a special ed parent, and I didn't receive a single email about this nomination or application available. So I would like to ask questions. So was this opportunity shared with all parents of students receiving special education services in our district? And where are they giving an opportunity to apply?
That's you, Mr. Rhodes. Or Dr. Bob.
Road by Mr. Gita.
Oh. Great, thank you.
So it is a two-year commitment. The teacher who was there before, resigned, left the position. And the parent, also their student moved to the middle school, to the high school from the middle school. So, this was an appointment, based on, the needs, the teacher who's currently there, Ms. Callie, this is her second year, so she will continue in the same role.
Okay, and what about the parent? How did we recruited this parent?
So the parent was essentially, recruited by myself, the director, based on just the need that we needed, and, I approached the parent and she would be willing to take on the role and she agreed to.
Okay, does the SILPA require a way of how to appoint these?
They're silent on the matter, the bylaws are silent, and so, it is essentially because it is a continuation. Typically, we do have, an application process and a vote that goes in on when there's a two-year term that opens up, which will be the following school year.
Okay, and Mr. Quintana, what was your thinking process about choosing this parent?
It's a parent who was involved and I was, familiar with her and, she has a student in one of our Montsevier classrooms and, she had a lot of input, so that's one of the criteria. And the criteria for was just having a student who is in special education.
I apologize to interrupt you, Mr. Quintana, for student privacy rights, just,
Oh,
you have to limit the
specify.
I
information.
apologize.
I apologize to interrupt you.
Okay, well. I would like if next year, there can be a fair, process for each parent to consider it. Because we do have a lot of special ed parents very much involved in the schools. And I mean, I'm not familiar with this parent. Just I would like to see that next year. I hope this parent, does a great job. I'm probably she will, and, I would like to maybe invite her to one of these meetings to be more active here, to listen to these meetings. And I think it's very important to create a cycle, where everybody's in the same page. Yeah, I just think it's very important to just give the opportunity to everyone. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Quintana, for your.
I'd like to just call a vote.
Okay, so we do have a motion, a second, may I have your vote?
Aye.
Aye. So it passes 4-0.
Just a reminder, Madam President, that we did pull 11.2.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me, 11.12, sorry, 11.12. So we're on to 11.13.
So we're on 11-13, approved revised classified salary schedule.
So moved.
Thank you. I'll second it. May I have, is there any discussion? No?
Can I ask one question though?
Yes.
So I know that we have two new positions, for the salary schedule. And I know that one of them has the steps from 5 to 9 and the other one from 6 to 10. Can you explain, exactly this is the salary amount, right? Yeah, and so what I noticed is that these steps are way lower than the rest of them. So why, and yeah, I guess the question is why? Because I think the lowest steps we have is from 8 to 12. Oh.
Trustee Perez, may I respond?
Sure.
Okay. So these are the alternate job positions that we offered to classified staff who were on the layoff list. Those classified staff were in the job titles of campus aide and instructional aide. These new job titles are special program campus aide and special program instructional aide. And the salary schedule matches the salary schedule of their laid off position.
Okay. Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Like to call a vote?
Yes.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
passes 4-0. We're on 11-14 revised 26-27 classified employee 209 days, month work calendar.
So moved.
Anthony Martinez makes a motion, I'll second it. Any discussion? Okay, may I have a vote?
Aye.
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 Passes 4-0. 11.15 suspended expulsion recommendations and student cases number 1.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve this as modified.
Okay, I'll second it. And is there any discussion? Okay, may I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. 11.16 suspended expulsion recommendations and student number case number 2.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve this as modified.
Thank you. Mr.
Second.
Antonio. So another second. Seconds it. Any discussion? Good. May I have your vote?
Aye.
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 Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Okay. Martinez, I'll second it.
No pulls from my end, Madam President.
No polls. Yeah, I do have some polls.
Okay, Ms. Teresa.
Yeah, it will be 12A.2. 12B.4. 12D as a David, .1. 12D as a David, .6. And that's it.
Okay, Madam President, I'd like to modify my motion to include the consent calendar minus 12 Apple .2, 12 B.4, 12E as in David .1, and 12E as in David .6. And I'd like to follow.
Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we'll go over it.
12.8.2, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointments of 12.8.2. You need a second.
A second.
Your poll.
Yes, I would like to ask simple question, why is this, why does it say all of these positions, to be determined?
Mr. Priscilla, do you mind to answer this one? This is about the special program campus aides. As we're moving through this, assignment of staffing for the new year.
Right, so these are the positions that, the alternate positions, and they are in the process of determining what school they will be at. So as of last month, they were on the layoff list, so now we're bringing them back after it gets approved, and then we'll be determining what school they will be going to.
Oh, okay, so it's just to
Depending on
determine
the
which
need.
school,
Right,
okay, got it,
thank you.
okay, thank you, that's it.
I'd like to call a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Passes 4-0.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve 12B.4, which is temporary behavior specialist.
I'll second it.
Here's one, Ms. Brass.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's basically for the three, the the three items in the agenda?
You can only address the one because.
Right, well,
only one.
this question will answer three of them. So again, simple question, why does it say temporarily? Because I think the three of them are very important positions that should not be temporary.
So, Mr. Waters, when you answer that, you
Yes,
can only answer it for the temporary behavior specialist.
Yeah.
Because the other two action items were already approved,
Sure.
so just following the rules.
The reason is temporary funding from the medical. So these are employees that were with us throughout the academic year, 25-26, and, through the voting to the special education department and medical committee, they approved to bring them back.
I will further clarify that, in a public school district in the state of California, with regards to this particular job title and the vast majority of job titles, when the funding source is temporary, in this case, the funding source is Medi-Cal temporary funds, they're not ongoing funds, then the type of employment contract that we offer to the employee is a temporary contract. Because the funding is not ongoing.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we don't have we don't know, we don't have a schedule or something in the calendar when if they're gonna be gone in a certain time or not?
On a temporary contract in our school district, the contract will be the duration of 1 school year.
Okay,
So, our school year begins in July and it ends in June.
okay, thank you.
I'd like to call a vote.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchasing report, which is 12D.1. We need a second.
I'll make the second.
Okay. Yeah, you're.
Yes, I had my questions about two purchasing items, which is for what exactly did we spend $20,000 with Casa Familia?
That is the art program, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, Prop 28, yeah. They're running some art program there.
okay, yeah, I was thinking it was that, but I'm not sure. And I was just curious about, there's a purchase for La Bella Pizza for $907.
That was for the employee recognition, which was sponsored by Mission Federal.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because I was like, why I wasn't invited? I love Bella's Pizza. Okay, and just as a note, I see that we spent in a month for Best and Krieger, LP legal fees, a total of $40,000. $40,169. And we approved 41. So thank you for saving us $1,000. So that's it. Thank you so much.
I'd like to call a vote, please.
Oh, wait a minute.
Aye.
Yes, just a moment. That's fine.
Yes. I would like to share that, the district, closely monitors, all legal fees district-wide. And I'm very proud of the business team and our district. This fiscal year, as we close the books, it appears that we will have reduced our total legal fees by approximately $200,000 compared to last year. So, thank you very much to the collective benefit and work of the district. And when I first came, our legal fees were $1 million in 2018. And we are back to spending half that amount for the full year. So I sincerely appreciate the district working hard, and I also appreciate the prudent guidance of our legal counsel.
I'd like to call a vote, please.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
Okay, Madam President, I'd like to approve 12D.6, agreement with the San Diego County Superintendent of Schools for the ADEP Outdoor Education Program sixth grade camp.
Just second.
Motion by Mr. Martinez, second by Senator Rosario and Mrs. Perazza.
Yes, I have a few questions about this event. Well, first of all, I love it. I mean, I love this program. My son went to sixth grade camp last year and he absolutely loved it. Although I heard some other comments from other parents from past experience with their students and they were a little concerning. So just to be careful, with who's watching our kids and all of that, I will like to ask how many staff members usually go to these camps programs? And how does it work? How does the the safety of the students work during this camp?
Yeah, the camp is actually a school, there's a little county office of it. And so they have their own staff, principal, nurse, teachers, as a form of supporting our students and also because of the safety. Our collective bargaining agreement, provides for teachers and not only teachers, but in certain cases, instructional aides to attend to our students. I cannot remember right now the ratio, but usually that's also provided through the sixth grade camp.
Okay. So teachers, like how many teachers?
I cannot give you a specific number, but I know it has to do with
Depends on
a
the
particular ratio to the city,
Do you know the ratio approx?
but not by memory, no more, I used to.
Okay, yeah, I just think it's very important to keep in mind, the safety part of it. I know that's their program, but at least our staff maybe can keep an eye on them.
Yeah, if I may add, our staff that goes actually stays and sleep the camp. So there's always staff 24 hours a day with our students. The camp itself is very strict. They do expect students to follow the rules and if they are not followed, administrators get called. I have myself gone and pick up students, taking parents to pick them up. They have the rules and they expect every single student to follow.
Thank you.
Wait, I just have another question to be talked after that. Does the special ed students also invited to this? I know that each one of them have different challenges. But I know there's accommodation we should provide.
Yeah, all of the special students are provided and through our CBA also has agreed that to make sure that the staff that knows the student and can provide for those services accompanying that student. So sometimes, most of the times it's the teacher itself or an instructional aide that is well aware of the student needs.
Great. Thank you.
May I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Adjournment. Ooh.
No, we're items from the board and superintendent.
Oh. Well. Just anybody.
I'll start.
Okay.
I'd like to thank, our member from the National Guard, your presence here. I know it was a long meeting, but I want to thank you for your service and for the training and support that you are going to provide our students. We're very fortunate. And being that San Diego is a military town, and we have many military children in especially in one of our schools, we just want to thank you again for the support that you're going to bring to, I believe in this case, it's going to be Willow, right? Willow?
So actually they go to, they actually go to the different schools.
So just thank you. thank you so much for your service and just, we really respect what you do and thank you daily. Thank you.
Thank you for.
And I also want to take a moment to thank Cabinet for always making time before all board meetings to support us through the review of the agenda, going through every item and giving us all the time that we need to ask you questions and concerns. I think it's a great platform for us to understand things that we may not understand. In my case, because I worked in this district for almost 40 years, there's so many things that I understand because I've always been part of. But I think that that's really commendable because you do take the time to answer concerns and questions and requests. And you give us more than just one platform to do that. So I'd like to thank you. I want to also say that I enjoyed participating in all the promotions that we could. You know, we're only like with me, like going to all the different, it was very impossible. But at least the 6th grade promotion that I went to at Smythe, I was able to hug my last generation because 6 years ago with COVID, I couldn't hug them goodbye. So it was really, really just, full circle there. And so just going to the middle school, they're so mature. The speeches they read, we have kids, amazing writers. And I just think we have to continue encouraging them to use their voice, to advocate for what they want in their futures and their lives. Trust that they know more than we think they know. And so it was really great as a member of the women's club. I read all the applications. I want to tell you, maybe only 5 or 6 of us volunteers. It's a long process to sit for hours and hours and read all the applications. So all the scholarships that were given to the high school students and our middle school students, it was really a joy to read all their applications. So I'm very fortunate to be able to be part of that. And just sometimes the world feels like we can't just wake up another day and listen to just the negative that surrounds us. When I heard Barack Obama and Michelle Obama speak today at the celebration of a library and a residential building that was open in Chicago, there's so much hope for our future. And when the world has more people like them, we can move forward. And our children deserve to have leadership, people we trust, which we do as a board, or I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have knocked on all the doors in San Ysidro to represent a community that is now going to trust that I'm going to do right by children. And that is why I'm here. So I was really happy to hear his speech, and it has completely inspired me to not give up because time does go by. People have to change. Leadership has to change. And when the leadership is not positive, then we look forward and hope for better. And that's what I know will happen. And just last but not least, I just want to say I want everybody to continue praying for Veronica. She is our family. She's done so much for this community. She needs our support. She needs our prayers more than ever. And I just want to say, when she wasn't in the situation she is right now, she would watch all our board meetings.
She'd be here.
She'd be here, and then when she couldn't anymore, and Nate, her son, and her family. So her family knows that so many of us are praying for her, but we can't stop until we see Veronica and at our board meetings again with her smile and just everything she's given of herself. And that's the way we are in this community. It's not just Veronica, it's everybody who's still sitting here. People who are giving their all in spite of the fact that we get criticized. Like that's all we're here for, to be criticized over and over. But we do care about the children in this community. And never let anybody who puts us down or criticizes us stop us from what we have to do. And so I'm making sure because I know everybody's tired and I'm very happy that Mexico.
Thank you. I we'd like to have Master Sergeant Nicole Plus. We'd like to award you one of our points for awarding for over and beyond and also thank you for your made a difference in the community.
For staying.
Thank you.
This really is a true testament to the soldiers and airmen who service these schools every day. I know they go out to pretty much every single school in the school districts. And I personally got out to those schools too. The kids within your guys' school districts are amazing. I want you guys to know that.
Thank you. And I want to,
So Madam President, it's your turn to choose who you want to talk.
oh, I'd like to go because
Okay.
I want to irritate what Zenaida just said about Veronica, and it's something that is dear to my heart and to her because she was from our community. She lived in our community, she went to school. And I know that a lot of people are praying for her, and I want to thank them because she's something that brought a lot of work and a lot of hard work, but her heart in helping a lot of the families. I want to also let them know that I did arrange for a mass at Our Lady of Mount Carmel, which know her, that every mass, her name is going to be mentioned for prayers for each mass in the Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I also had other information from the library, Friends of San Ysidro. I'm a part of that library group. And there was some mention about Elaine, who is the actually librarian. They have a program. If your child is registered with the San Ysidro Library and there's a reading group, if your child attends that reading group and the parent is also a member of the library, they're giving the children free tickets for the county fair. And this is up until June 30th. And I told her that I would make this announcement for our community to know that they do have that opportunity. And I think it's great because a lot of our children have never been to the county fair. Also, I want to thank the family, Llamas, who made possible for this library to be built in our community because he was a student from our community. Became a millionaire and came back. And I remember I went to the city council. He asked them, well, how much money they needed. And they said there was no money to build the library. And he said, I'm asking you how much. And he made out the check to have this library built. And it's a beautiful library. So there are a lot of opportunities, but not only that, this library is #1 in San Diego County. The programs that they have and what they offer, it's even for parents that have children in preschool. And they had a lot of new programs that are coming every day. So I think our community needs to be more involved. And but this is one thing that I thought I was able to go to the county fair as a young child. But I think now it's very costly. But that would be something that we need to let our community know. And I told her that I would make that announcement so they can connect with the library and they'll find out that they can be given those gifts until those tickets free. Also, I want to commend our staff that's here. You know, I know it's not easy, Mr. Quintana, who is part of SELPA, but I know that I remember SELPA. They used to go through the same process of getting a parent, a teacher, and a representative, even if we're a smaller district, but everybody had that right. And those parents that wanted to get involved went through the process of it. So I want to commend you because we continue to serve a lot of our children who are in special ed. And it's not easy, but thank you for coming. And I want to thank you because you worked very diligently, very hardly with our district. And you deserve the position that you received now. Don't forget. Okay. So thank you everybody for does anybody else? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Anybody else have a comment?
I do. Yes,
Okay, Ms. Peraza.
thank you, I'm sorry. Well, I just want to address one topic. Besides saying that now we have 1 year anniversary asking for cameras. Well, I guess that's my anniversary. Okay, so I would like to address an email and petition that we received, the whole board received from concerned Ocean View Hills preschool parents. I don't know if you remember, but last meeting, we had many parents from the Ocean View Hills preschool deeply concerned that there will there's not gonna be a preschool in Ocean View Hills next year. So they were expressing their concern and asking for one thing only, to keep at least one classroom in Ocean View Hills. So it's regarding the decision to relocate the preschool program to Sunset Preschool and only offering transportation to 3 to 4-year-olds from Ocean View Hills to Sunset. First, I appreciate the district staff, because they met directly with parents and listened to their concerns directly. That conversation was important, but I do not believe is enough. I feel very strongly about keeping preschool in the Ocean View Hills community, at least one classroom. As a parent whose son attended that exact preschool, this decision deeply saddens me. It is an outstanding program that has served families in the neighborhood for years. And we have a lot of military families over there. And I believe it should continue serving future generations of students. I do not support the decision of not having a preschool there. First, there was no meaningful community involvement before this decision was made. Parents deserve to have a voice in decisions that directly affects their children, their schools, and their community. Second, I do not believe our youngest students should lose access to a preschool in their own community because of the bad management and budget challenges that we're facing in the district. They did not create this problem, we did. And they should not be the ones bearing the consequences. Third, a decision of this magnitude should not have been made without a meaningful board discussion or vote, or its own item in the agenda, and a real public discussion. These families affected deserve transparency and the opportunity to be heard before a decision was made. That is why I'm requesting, and please put it on the record, I am requesting that this matter be placed as an item on the agenda for next board meeting, or if we can do even a special board meeting. So this is the thing, I was gonna request this the last board meeting for this one. But anywho, Mr. Antonio Martinez didn't want us to talk, he moved that item from the agenda. Anyways, I believe we should honor the present parents who took the time to submit the petition and advocate for their children and future parents from this district. I hope we will do everything in our power to preserve the Ocean View Hills preschool program for current and future families before our books close. We still have one shot and we can make it happen. Dr. Glover, I believe you will be here a bit more with us. So hopefully you can continue working your magic with us, and so we can help these families. And that's it from my end. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go next, Madam President.
Okay.
First of all, I do want to give a quick prayer. And not just to Beto, but to her also her family, to her son Nate, to her mom, to her dad, who are both here with her right now. I can tell you Beto has been one of the most visible, consistent, loving, caring, compassionate person and a representative of this district for decades. And I met her when I started my career at the IV clinic. 2008, 2009, she was doing outreach, I was doing outreach. Since then, I can tell you all the community partnerships that we have and that list that we approved and we looked at. is because of her. And the truth is, I am very optimistic and I have a lot of faith that Arvado is gonna be okay. But I do want us to when you have a chance, give a quick prayer to her family, herself, and make sure she gets better. We need her here. And I also want to see her laugh and smile. And I also remember Nate, who would bear with us and when we had actually longer board meetings. I remember a time when our board meetings would last until 4:30 AM. Yeah, and after the 8th hour, you can't really think. But I remember poor Nate, big Nate, now he's big Nate, would sit with us, and then during breaks, he and I would talk about Pokemon. So, but I want to just wish him the best. We love him. We love Vero. We love her family, and really just a direction, Dr. Potter. If there's anything they need in terms of anything, let's accommodate that and let's support her and her family with everything we can, especially Nate. So I wanted to say that. I do want to give a very special thank you to another successful school year. Truth be told, it seems like it's going by so fast, so I just want to give a shout out to all administrators, teachers, classified staff who were able to, obviously accomplish another great school year. All the graduations, I was able to attend a couple of them. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who was able to organize that and, another school year done. I do want to also give a very special thank you to the teachers union who invited me, and actually CTA, who also invited me to rally with them and ask our state legislators to not withhold $3.9 billion. I see Dr. Glover like shaking me on it. You all know that. Here's the reality of it, is that it's constitution that Prop 98 is fully funded. The notion of any amount, let alone $3.9 billion being withheld, is outrageous. So I just want to urge all legislators to fully fund Prop 98, tell the governor that chunk of change we needed for our schools, and make sure that every year we're not playing these games when it comes to our budget. I know, Dr. Potter, last month, I gave you direction from my end of it as one board member to see what we can do to guarantee that we do keep one classroom or as much as we can of preschool in Ocean View Hills. So I did give you that direction from my end of it. I'd like to see what we can do to get that going. My main concern is a lot of the kids that are very young can't go on a bus, and I think that's a big safety concern. So I did want to let you know, Dr. Potter, if you can address that, that'd be great. I want to wish everyone a happy Juneteenth. That's tomorrow, and happy summer break, and then just end it with this: go USA, go Mexico. So.
Yes, Mr. Morris.
Thank you. I just wanna, it has been a very unique year in many ways, reforms. But, we take it day by day and do our best. Thank you for the confidence provided in me, my person. Appreciate it. It has been an honor, to serve in different capacities this year. When Mr. Urciaga started here, I told him, you know what, you're my 16 de septiembre. And then you realize what was the next level, right? We have a great team. We have a great team here, a lot of work. Thank you, Dr. Glover, for the support. We continue to work every day. We're still not where we want to be with regards to the budget, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and there's a plan that it was approved by the board, and we just need to stick to it. And we're gonna see the results, and we're seeing it already. All our certificated and classified for the most part are coming back.
Yeah.
If you look at the initial November, December, we were looking over 40 people, close to 40 people not coming. And the work has been there, the trust has been there. Also, our unions, agree on positions, agree on allowing us to look for alternatives and work is not the most ideal thing, but at least our staff will have a job that they can sustain their families with. So thank you for the trust. We continue to working, we're still in school, we have summer school, goals, La Mirada for a special education summer school program. And the ELOP summer school at Ocean Bay Hills, June 15th to July 3rd at La Mirada, and June 15th to July 2nd. We have Mr. Jepis, one of our principals there, and we also have one of our resource teacher who obtained her administrative credential, Ms. Carolina Hernandez as well. So we're fortunate that there's other people coming down the line with new credentials, and Carolina has been, since I started at La Mirada, has been a teacher, resource teacher, great person, great professional. I'm very happy for her. Thank you, that's 26, 25, 26 old.
We're half position. Yeah, yes. Well, I'll begin and just echo the heartfelt warmth and prayers going out to our San Ysidro family member, Veronica Medina, and her son, who's the same age as one of my children, Nathaniel. I have to share with you, when I first came in 2018, Veronica just stood out as one of the individuals in our entire district with the biggest heart for our community. And if you know Vero, you know that she went out of her way for over 20 years in our district to not only create a robust ecosystem of partnerships with everybody from the LA Chargers, who used to be the San Diego Chargers, the Padres, Casa Familiar. I mean, the bands, rock bands even came to our school district. But that robust ecosystem is what won our district the Golden Bell Award this year. And that was Vero's work, 2 decades of Vero's work. And I remember over the years, I would see families quietly coming in and out of the district, feeling very safe to come visit Vero. And she would give them all types of resources that they would need. She would give them food. She would get them glasses, shoes, uniforms for the school, or just clothing for the family. She would even go out of her way to find housing vouchers for them and bus vouchers. We're talking about a angel of our San Ysidro community. And so I echo our governing board members and their prayers for her well-being. I'm grateful that the family has allowed our San Ysidro family to both pray for her and also for those closest to her, to be able to visit. And I also extend my prayers to her son, Nathaniel. And so anybody in our school district family, if you have any way to support Vero and her son, I know that it would be greatly appreciated. Prayers or any way that you can support their family during this time. Speaking about our San Ysidro family, I've had the pleasure in my career of about 31 years now in education to resoundingly say that San Ysidro's family is by far the best San Ysidro education family that I've ever had the pleasure to be a part of. The warmth of our school district, the kindness and caring that we extend to our students and families. We are a district as a family that always goes above and beyond for our children and for the families of our community. I'm so very proud of us. I'm proud of us for being resilient and strong, for being gracious, for being quietly proud and humble, and for really trying our best to do our best for the children and the families and the community that we serve. So I thank the leaders of our governing board. Thank you for your leadership. It's not easy to be a leader. It's so very difficult to lead. And you've led with grace and with a big heart. And I thank you for your leadership. And I also thank the entirety of our San Ysidro family for your strength and your resilience and for your quiet heroism of our community families. And then I'll end with 2 words. Happy summer, everybody.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 9:44 PM.
Okay, I'll second that.
Aye.
That's 4-0. And thank you and good night.